So come cook a Sunday roast with me. Now I am backwards and forwards doing different things, and that's purely because I'm multitasking, right? So it might flip about a bit, but bear with me. So I start off by prepping the carrots and the swede. I put them in the steamer to steam. I then start prepping me Yorkshire pudding mix, which is plain flour, eggs and milk. Now I did get, and I add salt and pepper as well. And I did get a new Yorkshire pudding tray as well, which you'll see in a bit. I then prep the beef. Now this roasting joint, it does this like basting fat or whatever on the top. So I paid £20 for this joint of beef. I seal it in a pan, just of hot oil. And then I put the basting fat back underneath and then I pop that in the oven. That's just on a bed of onions. Some people would use the gravy off the beef, but I'm not, because of all that basting fat that goes into the gravy mix. So I make my own gravy. I go back to the Yorkshire pudding mix, give that a blitz, and there's my new Yorkshire pudding tin. So I've seen Dennis do his in this style tin, so I thought I'm going to give it a go. And they're my potatoes. They're all shape sizes, they look different, it's just because they're from the allotment, the homegrown. So I've peeled them, popped them in a pan of water, rinsed them a few times, and then put them on to boil. This is my gravy. I put onion in, I put garlic in, I put a veg and beef stock cube in there, my secret ingredient, which is not so secret anymore, which is HP Fruity. I also put some pancetta in there as well. Now, in regards, and I put some mint sauce as well. Now, in regards to my mash, I could do cheesy mash, pancetta mash, whatever. But there's a lot of flavour going into the gravy, so I'm just literally doing butter and milk mash. So I'm going to fry off the pancetta first in the pan. While that's frying off, while my potatoes are still on the hob, I'm just mashing them away. The onion goes in once the pancetta is fried off a bit. Don't worry about the browning on the bottom of the pan, it's all flavour. I go back to the potato, add some butter and milk, give that a good mash round. You can see there is browning on the bottom of the pan, but don't worry about it. I'm going to add my garlic in, I'm going to fry that off for a minute or so. I add the stock in, give that a bit of a mix up. I add the brown sauce, like HP Fruity, and the mint sauce, a couple of bay leaves in there. I boil the kettle and I put boiling hot water in and I let that simmer away. There's two ways you can thicken this up. You can just put a couple of spoonfuls of Bisto gravy granules in, that'll thicken it up, also add flavour. Or you can make a cornstarch slurry, up to you. I washed, cleaned, prepped all of the cabbage. I got that from the allotment. And there's me gravy bubbling away, so I'm just going to put a cornstarch slurry in there and then mix it up. As I say, you can put some gravy granules in if you want. Salt, pepper, butter in me carrot and swede mash. And then that is my joint of beef coming out of the oven there. It's still a little bit pink when I cut it actually. I put my lard in the tins, there go in the oven. I'm making an apple crumble for later on in the evening. So that's my apple crumble prepped. I just put a bit of cinnamon, sugar, a little bit of water, and then bang that in the oven to sort of stew. There's my oil melted, or the lard melted. So I'm putting my Yorkshire pudding mix in there. Told you this is fast paced, didn't I, guys? I've got a family to feed. I can't take 3 days to make it. So here is me joint of beef. Again, I was cutting it and it was a little bit pink, so it did go back in for a little bit longer. I melted some butter in the pan. When the butter was nice and hot, I then put the cabbage in and pan fried cabbage. There's my Yorkshire puddings done. And now for a plate up. And as I said, I could have done the pancetta in with the bacon, etc., but it was in with the gravy. Same with the mash. I could have done mustard mash, spring onion mash, cheesy mash, whatever, but we just wanted it salt, pepper and creamy because of the flavours that was in the gravy. So there's all our veggies and stuff on there, and there's the gravy on. Gorgeous. And then later on in the evening we had some apple crumbles. So there's me apples stewed. I just use crumble mix. I can make my own, but Carl prefers the board. He doesn't like with the oats and stuff in, so I just do what we like. So there it is there with lashings of custard. And we had that while we watched Tulsa King. We're watching that, season 3. And there's our Oscar, proper little mummy's boy. So I sit on the floor and he lies next to us. So yeah, and has a bit of a snuggle in there. He doesn't get on his bed for whatever reason. I just pulled the duvet thing round. So yeah, nice Sunday afternoon.